Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. So as we celebrate the auspicious arrival of Lord Sri Ram in Ayodhya Dham coming very soon, I thought it would be prudent to wonder and ask, hey, why does the Lord come on this planet in the first place? What is the reason that he comes? Why does he come from his Saket Ayodhya Dham to this planet Earth and conduct so many beautiful pastimes? After all, isn't he the Supreme Lord? Can't he just snap his fingers and make everything happen, whatever he wants to do? No. See, the Lord comes for many different reasons, and we can refer to so many scriptures like the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, and also Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas to find these details. So today we're going to discuss really interesting topic, that what are the three main reasons why the Lord appears on this earth, and also what is the hidden, real internal reason why he appears. Most of you might have heard these three reasons before, but I assure you, when we discuss that one internal, extra special reason, I can assure you that you've never heard it before. So let's begin. Now, Shri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita famously says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrijamyaham. And what does this mean? That whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, O Arjun, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So what is Shri Krishna saying? He's saying that, when do I come? I come when these two conditions are met. That when there is a decline in religious practices, when people of this world are no longer interested or not properly following those religious practices which I come to set. Those that are laid out in the Vedic scriptures, because after all, Vedavyas, who wrote the Vedic scriptures, who wrote the Vedas, is only my incarnation. So I am actually the establisher of religion. But whenever the people stop following this, whenever there is a decline in religion, and simultaneously a rise in irreligion, that means when so many are conducting sinful activities, impious activities, hurtful activities, then I come and I descend myself. So this answers the question, when does the Lord come? So in the case of Lord Sri Ram, we know that this was the case. That when a demon such as Ravan appeared, what happened? There was a rise in irreligion. And because of his torture against so many different religious personalities, then there was a decline in religious practice. So Lord Ram appeared. Now, that answers the question, when does he come? Now what does he do when he gets here? So in this answer, Shri Krishna gives the next verse. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And what does this mean? This means that in order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. So, paritranaya sadhunam. What does this mean? That he delivers the pious. He rescues his devotees. Because after all, what is the number one quality of the Lord? He is Bhakta Vatsal. That means he is always nourishing and protecting his devotees on all occasions. After all, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, that my devotee is never destroyed. So the Lord is making a promise that if anyone attacks my devotees, anyone bothers my devotees, anyone causes trouble to my devotees, then ultimately he will be punished and I will come and rescue them. So if we have complete faith and surrender into the Lord, that, oh Lord, under all circumstances, whether good or bad or anything in the middle, you are my protector. I am surrendered unto you. Then you can be assured that the Lord has made a promise that he will do so. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. That means he destroys the demons. And of course, Lord Ram performed this wonderful pastime of killing Ravan. But he not only killed Ravan, he killed so many other demons, such as Tarika, etc. Right? So the Lord is protecting each and every kind of devotee, not just the Vibhishans, but also the sages within the forest. All devotees of all types and all different moods, all different levels of surrender. The Lord protected each and every one of them. And then finally, what does he say? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. That he comes to establish the rules of religion. Because Lord Ram came as what? He came as a king. After defeating Ravan, he comes back to Ayodhya, right? And he becomes coronated as king. And there, for thousands of years, Lord Ram rules, establishing the principles of religion within his kingdom. And he advises the residents of Ayodhya, the residents of the entire world, that how to live a pious life, how to live a proper religious life according to the scriptures. And in this way, he comes millennium after millennium, right? Paritranaya sadhanam, vinashecha duskritam, dharma samsthapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That in every yuga or in every millennium, the Lord appears. And he may take on so many different forms, but he comes to always achieve these three different goals. So now, I am sure that you have heard these famous verses before. These three goals are commonly known by so many people. But what is the real secret reason why the Lord appears? What is that internal reason? And what does internal mean? Means, what does the Lord feel? See, the other reasons are external reasons. Oh, because there's a decline in religion, because he has to save his devotees, because the demons are appearing, and he has to establish the rules of religion. These are external. These are situations on earth which require him to come. But what is the internal mood of the Lord? What does he feel that he wants to come for? And that is a very secret topic. So Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, what is he? He is a Akhil Rasamrita Murti. What does that mean? That means he is the enjoyer of all different rasas or moods of his devotees. See, the Lord only comes to do one thing, and that is to conduct the pastimes which please his devotees. He wants to exchange love in all the different ways that his devotees want to offer their love to him. So, for example, there are four main rasas: Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Now, Dasya means servant. Then, Sakhya means friendship. Vatsalya means parental. And Madhurya means beloved, or the love between a lover and beloved. So the Lord, no matter which way you approach him, after all, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatham mam prapadyante, tam stateva bhajamyaham. In whichever way you approach me in the mood of loving devotion, in the mood of service, I will reciprocate with you in that way. So Lord Ramachandra, he conducts these amazingly beautiful pastimes, sometimes heart-wrenching, sometimes very happy, sometimes ones that cause so much elation in the devotees. And he conducts these pastimes only to exchange love with his devotees. Even the killing of Ravan, even the saving of Sita Devi, even the friendship with Sugriv, all of this is actually in order to exchange love and exchange the pleasure with his devotees. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this topic so we can understand fully what is the mood of Lord Ramachandra when he appears. Now, I mentioned there are four different rasas, right? Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Let's analyze each and every one of them and understand them in full. So Dasya, or Das mood, servitude mood, means that one devotee thinks they are the servant and the Lord is the master. So in this case, the ideal, the perfect example of Dasya is Hanumanji. Now this is obvious for those of you who know the story of Lord Ram. Because what is Hanumanji? He is the embodiment of service towards Sri Ram. Every second, every moment, he is only interested in serving Sri Ram. And what is special about Hanumanji? The speciality of Hanumanji is that he knows Lord Ram's heart. He knows the service that Lord Ram needs before he even expresses it. This is the topmost class of devotee. This is the class of devotee who knows how to serve because he understands the heart of his master or his Prabhu. So Hanumanji, in so many instances in the pastimes of Lord Sri Ram, knows exactly what Lord Ram wants. He jumps the ocean and gives the ring to Mother Sita. He helps build the bridge. He saves Lakshman Prabhu, right? So he's doing so many different pastimes. Even afterwards, when Lord Ram is coronated king and Sita Devi is trying to offer him so many beautiful jewels and the har or the necklace from her lotus neck, then what does he say? He says, I have no need for these pearls. I have no need for these jewels. Because inside there is no Ram. Right? So until and unless something contains Lord Ram or his service, then Hanumanji is not satisfied. So what? Will Lord not reciprocate? Of course. This is the big reason, the main reason, the internal reason, the sweet reason why he appears in this planet. He wants to exchange love with Hanumanji, because when they finally meet each other in the forest, then what happens to Lord Ram? He begins weeping. He begins crying upon seeing his beloved Hanuman, his eternal associate, his eternal devotee, and he embraces him with great love and affection. This is, it is not just Hanumanji weeping. It is not just Hanumanji happy upon seeing the Lord. The Lord is also very happy to see his devotee. He is most happy to see his devotee. So this is exchanging the mood of dasya, Lord Ramchandra does. Now Sakhya. Sakhya also means friendship, or those that have a friendly relationship with Lord Ram. Now, in this pastime, we can also take that Lord Ramchandra's brothers are like in Sakhya Ras. They have a mood of dasya, where they, of course, worship him, admire him, know that he's the supreme, but they also, in the form of his brothers, then they exchange some loving exchange in that mood also. So the prime example of this is Bharat. Now Bharat, in the very sweet pastime, when Lord Ram is banished from the kingdom and goes to Vanvas, goes to exile for so many years, then Bharat, he comes and approaches Lord Ram. And there he learns about the principles of prem, the principles of love towards Ram. There he learns that what is prem? Prem, as defined by Srila Rupa Goswami, Anya Vilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukul Yena Krishna Anushilnam, Bhaktir Uttama. What does this mean? That if one sincerely loves, one sincerely wants to perform bhakti upon the Supreme Lord, then what? He has to look at what is it that the Supreme Lord wants. There is no selfish desire. There is no selfish desire. And Bharat Maharaj, where does he learn this from? He learns this from the great devotee or the great king, Maharaj Janak, who teaches him that prem means only doing those activities for the satisfaction of your beloved, of the person whom you love. So Bharat is the prime example where he gives up his own self-desire of giving Ramchandra the kingdom back. He takes this seva, this service upon his head, takes the lotus feet, the lotus chappals, the lotus sandals of the Lord upon his head, and conducts that service, which although gives him so much pain, being separated from Lord Ram, this viraha bhav means separation from the Lord. He performs this seva with great pleasure because that is ultimately what Lord Ram wants. So even though he has to live separately for so many years, he's constantly meditating, constantly connecting and meeting with Lord Ram within his heart. So this is the example of Sakhya Ras. And then Vatsalya. Vatsalya means parental mood. That Lord Ram wants to exchange love with those that treat him like a child. Now, of course, we know how much Maharaj Dashrath loved Lord Shri Ram, so much so that he gave up his life upon separation from him. We also know about Kaushalya Devi and Sumitra Devi and how they treated Lord Ram as their own son. For example, even though Sumitra Devi's direct son was Lakshman, she loved Lord Ram more than Lakshman because she considered him like her own son. Now, a very beautiful pastime, a very beautiful secret given by our Srila Gurudev discusses that actually the topmost queen in Ayodhya is Maharani Kekai. Kekai. How can this be the case? We all have heard that Kekai was the one that caused Lord Ram to be banished, that caused him to lose the kingdom, that asked for those two boons that changed the course of history forever. So how can Kekai, who made such selfish desires to put her own son as the king, how can Kekai be the topmost queen who loves Lord Ram the most? And our Srila Gurudev says, actually, Kekai, she sacrificed the most for Prabhu Shri Ram. She loved Lord Ram the most because there is one hidden pastime. See, when Lord Ram was a child and the coronation was just about to happen, when he's becoming older and ready to become king, then he approaches Mata Kaikai and asks her that Mata Kaikai, he sits in her lap and he says, "Mother, do you love me?" And Kaikai begins weeping and says, "Oh Ram, you are my life and soul. You are my heart. Anything I can do for you, I can give up my life right here just for your pleasure." Then Prabhu Shri Ram, what does he say? No, there is no need to give your life, but I'm asking you for something more than your life. Kaikai says, "What is it? What is it, Ram? What is it, Beta Shri, that you are asking me? I'm ready to give up my life. How much more can you ask from me? But whatever it is, I will satisfy as long as it is within my capacity." So Prabhu Shri Ram, what does he say? He says, "Mata, you remember you have two boons given to you by my father Dashrath Maharaj. I want you to ask these two boons where your son becomes king instead of me." And immediately upon hearing this, Maharani Kaikai, she is almost half fainted. "Then what are you asking me? How can you ask this? Because I only want to see you, my darling son, as king. How can you ask this?" And then Prabhu Shri Ram says, "No, not just that. I want you to also ask that I be exiled from the kingdom, that I go in the forest." Upon hearing this, Kaikai fainted, completely fainted, and said, "Oh, how can I tolerate your separation? How can I ask such harsh things? Ask me anything else, anything, my own life, and I will give this to you. But you are asking me to be separate from you. You are asking me something that is nearly impossible." Then Prabhu Shri Ram said, "But mother, you are the only one that can do this because you love me the most. Therefore, I need you because I want to conduct so many pastimes. I have come on this planet for so many reasons. I need to accomplish these things. But without your help, I cannot do that. So I request you, please do this." Finally, upon hearing the request from the one she loves the most, Prabhu Shri Ram, she agrees to do this, even though she receives so much ninda, so much criticism, so much hatred from her own son that he doesn't even call her mother any longer. So much criticism from the entire world, the entire residents of Ayodhya. And even to this day, she is portrayed in all of these different serials and books and everything as the evil queen. She's portrayed that she got convinced by mantra. But how can the mother of the Lord be bewildered unless the Lord himself wanted it? Remember, her position is not ordinary. She is the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? It's not an ordinary position. She's an eternal associate, not just someone who comes in and gets bewildered. So this sacrifice by Kaikai, after all, it's said that no one in the entire world names their children Kaikai, names their daughter Kaikai. So she's, even though criticized to this day by the entire world, actually it is Kaikai, Srila Gurudev said, that gave the most sacrifice for Prabhu Shri Ram. So this top class of devotion, this beautiful Vatsalya Ras Prem taught by Mother Kaikai, is another reason for Lord Ram to appear, because he wants to exchange the love between his devotee. And finally, Madhurya, or the lover-beloved Ras, that to exchange love with his consort, Sita Devi, who is none other than also Srimati Radhika, that the Lord is always looking to exchange in this topmost Madhurya Ras. Now, because he is Maryada Parshottam, Sri Ram, that means one who follows perfectly the ideal rules and regulations, he made a vow that I will only marry once. But Prabhu Shri Ram, he is approached by so many, such as those sages who wanted to marry him. And even then, though he made a promise, he said, in this life, in this avatar, in this appearance, I have promised only to take one wife. But in my next appearance as myself, my original self, Sri Krishna, I will accept all of you. So these sages, these thousands of sages, what do they become? They begin meditating and praying that, oh, may the Lord accept me as his beloved in the next appearance. And they appear as the gopis, right? So Prabhu Shri Ram is also exchanging this Madhurya Ras, right, with all of the devotees. So when he exchanges this Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya Ras in his pastimes, then he really experiences the pleasure within his heart. So if we truly want to perform bhakti, if we truly want to serve Prabhu Shri Ram or Shri Krishna, then we must understand what is it that they want. What is their internal mood or desire? What are these hidden secrets behind each of their pastimes? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Krishna, he does only two things. The first thing is that he exchanges love with his devotees. And the second thing is that he destroys the demons for the pleasure and to show the pastimes to those in the world, right? Those in the world who are doubtful. Those in the world who don't think that there's a Supreme Lord. Upon hearing these beautiful pastimes in Ramayana or the beautiful pastimes in Krishna Lila, they become attracted. They become attracted. Just like when we watch Ramayana or when we read the Ramcharitmanas, what happens? Our eyes begin to tear. We begin to weep and we begin to experience so much pleasure and sadness also, because we experience the separation that, oh, if only I could be in those pastimes with Prabhu Shri Ram. If only I could be an insignificant blade of grass trampled by the lotus feet of the Lord, then my life would be successful. But this mood comes when we see these beautiful pastimes, when we see the exchange of love and how the devotees serve the Lord, then we understand how to perform bhakti. So in this way, I hope you enjoyed learning from these external reasons, which are very commonly known, and this hidden internal reason. In that way, we can advance our bhakti and remember Lord Sri Ram during this auspicious weekend where he is celebrating, where he is appearing. Actually, it is not just a murti, it is not just statues, it is not just stone, it is not just a temple. He is actually appearing, and that is why the whole world is joyous and singing the praises of Lord Sri Ram. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Hare Krishna.